Hello, I'm Lee Catfield. I'm joined by Joe Edwards here at the Shropshire Star. Joe, Shrewsbury Town didn't look great at half time, did it, against Peterborough? But they've pulled out a big win, a bit of a second half blitz, so to speak, and it's a win which really gets them back into the groove, isn't it?
Yeah, back into the groove, and that's the big thing. And although automatic promotion now, of course, isn't possible due to Blackburn beating Doncaster, getting that that monkey off the back almost and getting back to winning ways is a big thing. Paul Hurst and Chris Doig have both come out kind of this week and are a bit dismissive of the fact that momentum is so important going into the playoffs. They kind of think that doesn't really count for much. It's just the playoff is a lottery, and you can do well going into it and lose, and you can do badly going into it and really storm through it. So and there is both sides to the argument really. For me, you want to be going into it with a few wins behind you. It had been 3 league games without a win before last night, and it looked like it was going to be a 4th. Of course, you mentioned there, going into half time 1-0 down, and by all accounts, obviously wasn't there, but from what I could see and what I've heard, they were quite sluggish in that first half. Peterborough, had that lead. They had a bit of an easy ride. Guessing that Paul Hurst probably would have had some choice words to say at half time, and they've come out and they've responded, and fair play to them. Amar Beckles, Stephen Payne, Linnell John Lewis getting himself a goal as well, which is good to see because he hasn't been free scoring this season. He's been very limited in terms of the minutes he's had. He just tends to come on for the last 5-10, launch the ball up into the corner, and he holds it up, and that's been his job. But he's done that very well. But his role has been quite limited. But he has proved that if he does get a couple of chances, he can gobble them away. So fair play to him for wrapping things up. It's a big win, and things are looking all that bit rosy. You're going into those playoffs, albeit there's a couple of games left, but you're going into those playoffs now with a bit more added optimism. Whoever Shrewsbury face, you'd like to think Shrewsbury will be the favourites. And they did it last night as well, with a few players being rested, and that is something that I do agree with. You got players, Sean Morley, Matt Sadler, John Nolan, all three of those are very key players, vital players to this team.
Played a lot of
football, and when they're not at 100% at this stage now, with your fate already pretty much secured, you want to keep them as fresh as you can for the playoffs. If you're not starting them, drip feed them off the bench, I think would be the approach for me, because at the same time you want to keep them fresh, but you don't want to keep you don't want them to be a bit,
you don't want to get rusty.
You don't want them to not play for for a few weeks. So I do see this being an important time of player rotation, giving the players the right amount of minutes. I wouldn't be surprised over these last couple of games if there's a fair bit of rotation in the starting lineup. So but the big thing, getting back to winning ways, that was massive for Shrewsbury, and in doing so, in the manner of doing it as well, coming from behind to do so. So fair play to them, and fingers crossed they can go into those playoffs with a good bit of momentum.
So a big result for Shrewsbury Town, and they'll be looking to get a couple more wins under their belt as they head into the playoffs. For the latest, make sure you stay with us at shropshirestar.com.